Altercations like fights, shouting matches, and violence are all things that we can point to that have a core behind them, like anger, like jealousy, like hatred and envy, and all of these other things that we could think of. But you know what's interesting? The one thing that I think we normally don't consider that we should consider is simply asking questions. Go figure. All right, so I'm going to come in hot because this is something that I think is really interesting. In the Gospels, Jesus asked a total of 307 questions. 307 questions. You want to know what's also crazy? He's asked 183 questions and he only answers 3. Now, I don't know about you, but this has to point to some good reason of effective communication that I think is easily still applied today. It's just we're getting farther and farther away from it because we're getting farther and farther away from biblical principalities and pushing a kingdom agenda. Now, listen, I know that you may be watching this and you may not be a believer of Jesus. And listen, I have to tell you that whether you believe in Jesus or you don't believe in Jesus, there are so many things that I think that would help you see the value of the gospel. And not just the gospel itself, but effective communication that we could use in today's way of life. Now, you might ask, why did Jesus ask 307 questions? And it's possibilities that range from so many things. I mean, take a look at this. It's engagement, questions that are building relationships, causing someone to think. Okay, we know that Jesus was somebody who gave parables and stories to really weed out the people in the crowd that didn't really want to think for themselves or even get to a conclusion of what Jesus was really referring to in his day. Open-ended questions. He wanted them to come to their own conclusion, a conclusion that wasn't forced, a conclusion that was chosen by those who answered the questions. And then think about the creation of conversations throughout the text are created simply because Jesus asked questions, whether they were questions responding to a question or questions to those he encountered that he eventually healed, he delivered, all of these amazing things that take place in text. And so what's crazy is that there's a question that creates human connection. That's found in John 4, verse 7 through 9. You remember the woman at the well, such an amazing writing. Looking at Luke 6, verse 32 through 36, where this question causes introspection. What about questions that address worry? Don't worry. Matthew 6, verse 25 through 30's got you covered. Jesus asked those questions too. Giving balance to grievances of others. Jesus addresses this by asking these kinds of toning questions in Matthew 6, verse 3 through 4. There's so many texts that I didn't even really get to, but just a few examples as to show you that Jesus really moved about asking people questions instead of what we do today, which is just rolling up on people, putting hands on them because they don't agree with us. And we get into shouting matches because we want to be right and not actually understand the person that we're speaking to. Maybe you were that nervous kid in the classroom who never asked questions, or you just never thought that questions were purposeful. But Jesus says otherwise because he definitely moves through communication through asking questions to people. Asking questions is not only important, but essential to reaching the gospel to other people. These kinds of questions not only built a bridge for relationships, but was able to grasp the attention of the person Jesus was reaching to not only get them to think, but to get them to understand the value of the moment that was happening. So getting to fundamentals and sharing the gospel by sharing to other people who Jesus is, the character that Jesus has, what he's instilled in us in our own lives to walk out in front of them, giving them an opportunity to not only see it, but also giving them the opportunity to ask questions about why we do certain things or why we don't do certain things, but also returning the favor by asking them questions about where they are, what they're looking to do, where they're looking to go, what their life looks like. Asking questions takes us so much further than ever trying to put hands on people, forcing something on them, or causing uproaring violence simply because we don't agree or we don't like something or somebody in any case. Jesus asked questions, 307 of them. So why don't we ask questions too. If you like this video and this kind of content, be sure to leave a like, share this video with a friend, subscribe if you're new, and turn on the post notifications so you'll know the next time we're posting. Follow me on my socials, all right? Connect with me there, mainly Instagram and TikTok, all right? I'm looking forward to seeing you and hearing from you, so connect with me down in the description below. Click the link in the description below as well for our podcast, all right? We're going to be wrapping up first season here pretty shortly. You can catch me on Spotify and anchor.fm, all right? Links in the description, check it out. And as always, my friend, until our next conversation, be easy, be breezy, ask questions. Peace.